Hey everyone, welcome back, and thank you again for joining us here at Eye Opener Society. First off, before I get anywhere into the show, I want to remind everybody in 2 weeks, I'm going to be heading down to Kentucky for the very first road trip that Eye Opener Society is going to be doing. I'm going to be visiting Appalachian Rootworks, rooted in ruins in Kentucky. Two wonderful shop owners, Carly and Carla. I cannot wait to meet them. I've been speaking to them through email. I've been seeing their posts, and I feel such great energy from these two wonderful people at such a wonderful shop. Check out Appalachian Rootworks. Find them on Facebook, find them on their website, and just get ready because I'm going to go down there. I'm going to visit the shop. I'm going to see everything that they have to offer. And then I'll be doing a recording with them for Eye Opener Society. And then they have a podcast as well called Without a Candle. And they will have me on their podcast. So I'm really looking forward to this. Looking forward to the getaway, looking forward to get away from work. And speaking of work, now that I'm out of work and I'm sitting here in my space, I have the Cosmic Fairy Princess Lizzie alongside of me, which I'm so excited about because she kind of grounds me, even though she tells me that I ground her. Lizzie, how you doing, buddy?
Good, just so excited to be back. It's been a little bit since we were able to record. Glad that our timing finally has aligned for that.
Yeah, it is. And for people that don't know, there is a time difference between Lizzie and I because we're in two different time zones. And I always said podcasters need to be on Zulu time. So we always know what time it is. But it's okay. We make things work. And I think that's going to be the whole topic of this episode, making things work because everybody is stuck in these. I don't want to call it like fantasy lands, but we do. We seem to never have time, but we also create a lot of blocks for ourselves. We're not practicing that mindfulness that we need to help us understand what's going on. And this is why we become confused. This is why we say we don't have any time. We're just not making it because we're following too many stupid rules that shouldn't even exist. And before I got on air, I was talking to Lizzie about this, and Lizzie made perfect sense with it, of course, because she deals with this too. She's just like me in a lot of ways, but we're on two different energy levels. So, Lizzie, what is it about people, do you think, that why are we creating this? Oh, we have no time and we're not placing ourselves in our own little bubble and, you know, removing all the negative energy from us?
Well, I think it comes down to a couple things. One of the main ones is I think we've created a culture of disassociating. Just doing the dishes. People get so frustrated about the dishes because everybody, I don't know how it works out, but everybody seems to be the only one that does all the dishes, right? And it's hard to sit down and slow down and just enjoy the dishes. And so you skip over it as fast as possible. You put in music, you watch a show, you just like wash those dishes. But the act of being mindful and bringing all that energy down and slowing down and enjoying life, because that's why we're here, is to experience it. So when you slow down and you start enjoying the feeling of the water and the smell of the soap and all that, what will automatically happen is the stories that you tell yourself is going to come up. The I'm the only one doing the dishes. Nobody sees all that I'm doing. I can't believe I'm doing this again. I just did these. But those stories create all these energetic ties that pull you in, and it makes it an uncomfortable place to be mindful in. And so when people try to switch to running on the hamster wheel of life to being mindful, it's really uncomfortable because now you're thinking consciously all the subconscious stories that have been playing. And so part of being mindful is taking a moment and not judging that story, not deciding if it's true or not, but kind of just like realizing that that's what's playing in your head when you're doing the dishes or thinking about the dishes, even if you're listening to music while you're doing it.
That's beautiful because yes, and we're using just dishes just as a metaphor because this could relate to anything at all in life. And I do the same thing. Like my nemesis is work. I'm at the point where I'm so frustrated with it. So I've learned to place that protective bubble around me. I'm at the point where I literally go into work now and I made my office my space. There's very little that has to do with work in there. I have it set up where I have pictures and I have a crystal ball on my desk. I have a tiny singing bowl on my desk. It has nothing to do with my job, but it's all there so I can reflect on my time because work too is on my time. So I place myself in that moment and I use that energy to get me through the day. I no longer care about time constraints because I don't even wear a watch anymore. I don't care about time. I do things, I get them done, and that's it. All of the other office drama, it, I'm in my own bubble. It doesn't affect me. I do not allow it to affect me. And this goes back to the dishes. You place yourself in there, you feel the warmth of the water, you find something that helps you in that moment. So if I'm doing work and it's not what I'm feeling at the moment, I find something within my office or within my head that makes me comfortable. And that's all I focus on. And then allow yourself just to be slightly, multitask a little bit where you can think about the good stuff while you're doing the stuff that you don't really like. And then it becomes easier to do what you don't like because you're thinking about the things you like. I think you're rubbing off on me, Lizzie. Did I make that? Did you understand that?
Yes, for sure. No, that was good. I liked it. And yeah, it's super important that that little bubble is a great place to be able to retreat back to when the world is like kind of, bombarding you. And I personally, because I'm a very imaginative person, my cosmic fairy princess attitude here, I like to make it a little fun when I am having that hard time. Like if I always go back to the dishes because that just seems to be one that comes up for everybody. And but so if you can take it and make it like an imaginary world, get dressed up, pretend you're running a restaurant, pretend you're like in a tavern in the 1700s, do something silly in your head, and it's different than disassociating out of it because you're still in your head, and it'll be interesting to see what comes up in your imagination to kind of play with it, but it kind of creates that little bubble and it reminds you someplace to go back to, like a frequency, like a feeling to go back to when it is being all bombarded.
I like that because you really did take it to another level, and I never really thought about that. It's like we're going back to our childish selves where we use our imagination. And I was thinking about that too not too long ago. When did we lose all of that imagination? Why, when we grow up, it disappears? There's no reason for it. So why not imagine you're doing something really cool or living in some fantasy world because that's imagination and it'll get you through, I think, so many tough times, the sad times, emotional times. You've lost the imagination. So these raw emotions just take over and there's nothing to help soothe you anymore because you're not imagining things. So you really brought up something that I didn't even think about. So yeah, I think using your imagination during these times of doing dishes, again, metaphorically, whatever that may be, you could play with that. Oh, I love that. I knew I had you
Yeah.
on the show for a reason.
Thanks. And I that's funny. I was actually talking about imagination too on my TikToks just the other day. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, I think what happens is it comes down to the rules that we've placed on ourselves. And it starts with the rules other people accidentally give us. Like when you're a little kid and you go, I'm gonna be a doctor, and your older brother says, "That's really cool, but do you know how much money you'd have to have in student loans? Do you know how much work that would be? How good are your grades right now anyways? Like, you suck at math. You really think you can do that?" And then you go, "Wow, that would be really hard. Is that how what I wanted?" You know what I mean? And you start it changes it. And so when you come from it from this imagination place where like, I'm gonna be a doctor, I'm gonna save the world and heal everybody, and then it just gets crunched, like, you learn to crunch your own imagination before other people can do it because it'll hurt less, right? And so I think that that's kind of like the start of it, and then as we get all these different rules about what's real, how things work, how things should be, it, like, puts you in this place where you can't imagine anything because all you got is this straight line that society says is yes.
And that has always been one of my pet peeves. And it took me a long time to realize that because I was in that line myself for a long, long time. And it's because that's what's taught. I made a TikTok, same thing. By the way, we're on TikTok too as well. Search Eye Opener Society, and you can search energy.by.lizzie as well if you want to hear Lizzie's stuff as well. And I was talking about that. I said, we've always had these rules all of our lives, and they've been such bullshit lies because it was just to indoctrinate you into thinking one way, and you can no longer use your imagination. I said, but those people that wake up every day and do whatever it is they want or whatever it is they feel, those are the people we should be looking up to. Those are the people we should be modeling ourselves after. Yeah, maybe we do need to do certain things because this is how we need to live, but we don't have to follow these fucking stupid rules that have just been put there by who knows who. And yet we still follow them because that's our human instinct is to immediately, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, yes, we have to do it this way. Yes, it's not like that. And unfortunately, it took me so long to learn that. And now that I'm seeing what lies they are, I'm learning to break away from that. And Lizzie and myself, this is what we want to help people with. And we're trying our best. Lizzie's always rewriting her plans, but she's learning and I'm learning about her, but there's a reason why she's doing it. Uh, if you want to work with either Lizzie or with me, I have an email address set up, eosmeditation at gmail. Email, and I will get the message to Lizzie if you want to work with Lizzie, or if you want to work with me in the meditation mindfulness, EOS meditation. If you look down the synopsis, I'll make sure I have all the links for that. Lizzie didn't even know that. But if you want to reach it.
I saw that on Facebook, just so you know, I did know that.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I'm glad because I know Facebook I haven't been using too much, but I'm glad because Lizzie started to throw some posts on there too as the new administrator of the page, and which is good this way because I want everybody to also know Lizzie because everybody's been listening to the podcast maybe for the last 3 years, or if you're new here, it doesn't matter. Get to know me, get to know Lizzie because we're both here to kind of guide people. I don't mandate any sort of teaching. And when I'm teaching meditation, I'm just teaching what I know based upon what's working for me, and it may work for you. I don't feel offended if it's not working for you because everybody's got to reach out and find the person that works best for them. So you either have me or you have Lizzie. Lizzie's probably not doing meditation, but she could certainly help structure yourself through your energies and finding what she just taught me an energetic language by placing symbolicism. Is that right?
Yep, yep. Versus trying to understand how other people have set up their systems and what's working for them. My idea now is to teach you how to understand your own energetic language and write it so that you can understand your intuition without having to like go through all the process of healing everything blocking you and your intuition.
And I'm going to start working with Lizzie, and Lizzie's going to start working with me so we could both practice off of each other too. But again, we're here. Lizzie works off of donations. I require $1 million per session. It's all about balance. No, really, I can help out. It doesn't have to all be about money. I'm trying to get some client base myself, but I want to work with people to help people understand we don't have to think too hard or we don't have to concentrate all the time on the bad things. What we need to do is practice that mindfulness and just place yourself in the moment. And we start to break things down into smaller chunks and we start to realize how many things are necessary and how many things are not, as opposed to also all the lies that we've been told, and that you could actually live your life in a very comfortable and fun way only if you allow it.
And you stop letting other people give you rules about what that looks like.
And that too, exactly, because that's where the problem is, and we've been always told to do something. I don't teach that way. I give you the ideas, you take them, and then you do what works best for you, and you take it for whatever direction you want. So with that, again, EOS for Eye Opener Society, meditation at gmail.com. Send an email if you like to work with either one of us. Tell me if you want to work with me or if you want to work with Lizzie. You can follow Lizzie on both Instagram and TikTok, energy.by.lizzie. And that's again on Instagram and TikTok. I'm on TikTok, Eye Opener Society. And we are also on BitChute. For those of you who have been following us on BitChute, it's really taken off. I was really shocked. I was like, wow, I'm getting many views on there. So if you actually want to watch Lizzie and I on the video portion of this podcast, go to bitchute.com, search Eye Opener Society, all one word, or you could even find us on YouTube as well. I released the videos. And since people have been watching the BitChute, what I'm going to do with BitChute is I'm going to release the video version maybe 24 hours before the Monday morning show. This way, if people want to get a little preview, we'll do that for you. Other than that, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to thank Lizzie, who's been I really admire Lizzie. Lizzie, I'm going to tell you again on air, I admire you because I think we are going to team up. We're going to help people. And this podcast is going to hopefully bring some mindfulness to people and guide some people into our little world where we could actually help them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm excited to see where we get to take this, and I'm excited to be back recording again next week.
Absolutely. So look for us every Monday morning, and we'll have our show out. And don't forget to find us on BitChute and also YouTube. You could also follow us on TikTok, and we're still on Facebook. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and I want to thank Lizzie once again, and we'll see you on the next episode.